Good day, viewer. Welcome to FDM Roundtable, Freedom and Development Roundtable. Today we'll be exploring presidential aspirants coming together and the involvement of the Nigerian youth in Nigerian politics against the backdrop. How do we have a free and fair election with a good result? With me in the studio are great members of FDM. To my far left, I've got Mr. Kwasi Mbankole, CEO, Paul Group, founder FDM. You're welcome to the studios.
Welcome, sir.
Immediate right with me, I've got Mr. Ozwemena Nwamadi, businessman, postgraduate student, USA Economics. You're welcome to the studio.
Thank you, sir. Immediately
beside me is Barrister Charity Aigbek, and human rights lawyer, Vice President, Nigerian students in South Africa. You're welcome.
Okay.
To my far right, I've got Mr. Ifedayo Oshin, editor, Nigerian Voice newspaper, South Africa, also Secretary General, FDM. You're welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
I will take my first question to the founder. Number one question: what is the primary vision of FDM against the backdrop of politics in Nigeria? Then, under that, 2019 elections.
Thank you, sir. Our vision is, as our name goes, freedom and development movement. Anything that has to do with the freedom and development of the Nigerian people is what we actually get involved in. And because of that, the progress of Nigeria really matters to us. And that is why we are trying to play our own role, in the sense that we can be able to have an impact in the Nigeria political sphere and the 2019 election, because we are very much concerned, as the same way most Nigerians are concerned about what has been happening in our country for so many years. You know, we have to change that. We have to move our country forward, and for us to do that, we just have to play our own role. So that's why we are here to talk to our people, share our own ideas about how we can move our country forward.
I will give you a follow-up question to that before I go to other members on the panel.
Yeah.
Rigging in Nigeria. What is the view of FDM? How do we stop rigging? How do we come about free and fair election in Nigeria? Does FDM have machineries put in place, strategies put in place, ideas put in place to share with our people?
Yeah, we've got actually realistic idea about that, because we believe that rigging is possible in Nigeria, because all these people who belong to the same category, the politicians themselves and the INEC. Right now, we have people in Nigeria who have had more than one PVCs, which means that INEC is fraud. INEC is not running for the people of Nigeria. It's ought to be running.
When you say INEC is fraud, how would you substantiate that?
Yeah, because if you are an independent electoral body like that, there should not be a reason why your system will be run the way it is. If people can get PVC and then go to another place and still get PVC, yet you are taking a fingerprint, you understand? And then there's a lot of cases whereby people get to this polling unit and they have to pay people to get their PVCs. And in some areas there are more PVC centers than some other places. And again, look at the closure of the INEC, the registration for PVC. It has already ended. Where in the world is that done?
If I take your point very well, INEC is not independent, INEC is not fair, INEC is supporting some political parties. Whilst you are still on that, let me go to my fire. Just to take a point from what he's saying. He mentioned, let's look at the involvement of the Nigerian youth in the Nigerian politics. Is there a reasonable chance for them? Number one. Why do you think there is a bit of apathy? Youth are not very, very much interested in the politics itself.
Thanks so much for that question. I believe that the Nigeria has a big role to play, in moving Nigeria forward, and I think that's the big next thing that can happen to Nigerian politics. We've tried these old men, which are called Kabas, and we've seen what they've done over the years. And we have young minds who are still agile, with ideas, who have been all over the world, are educated. And if you look at the crop of people who are coming out for presidential elections, you see that these are people with quality, and we feel that they have ideas, they have the strength to be able to, bring fresh blood into Nigeria politics. And that is our position, FDM. That, okay, we have to deal with these people. You try your best, but let's try new hands.
Okay, you want to do away with them. Okay, yes. We'll come back to how to do away with them. Let me come to Mr. Ozomen Onwamadi. Presidential aspirants coming together. Some people call them strange bedfellows who come together for selfish interest. What do you say to that?
Thank you very much for that question. I want to congratulate them first for coming together or having the intention to come together, because it can only be achieved if they all come together. That is a step. But if they all come together without having one goal, then it shows that they all have different agendas.
I am still with Mr. Ozomen Onwamadi, President, Nigerian student in South Africa. I believe you're back and better, still on the same thing. Presidential aspirant coming together. Your take.
Thank you very much for that question. Presidential aspirants coming together is a good thing for Nigeria and for the young people of Nigeria. It is for the first time Nigerian politicians have given the opportunity for the young people to be voted for, which we want to start by appreciating the young people for taking the step to come together. And in terms of the path, the young people should remember that they're not going to be given the power, but they should take the power. And taking the power, they should also remember that competition is the law of the jungle, and collaboration is the law of civilization. So they should be civil and show some ideas to differentiate themselves with the older politicians, which does not have ideas, and political system in Nigeria is not based on ideas. So that's what I can say about.
Can I add?
Before you go, the barrister is here. I should have started with barrister. I don't want to appear to the people as being unfair. Barrister Charity Aibeka. I'm going to come from what Mr. Ifedayoshin said. He said we have a crop of leaders now who are very old. Historically, they didn't get to power hold. They've been there in the 20s and 30s, and they've remained in power. Shall we not say is the fault of the youth of this generation who have allowed these people to continue? Because they didn't get their hold. We saw them grew from young people in their 20s to their 30s, and we could not displace them over the years.
Thank you. We can't say it's the fault of the youth that are actually there right now that allowed these people to actually stay there up till now. The youth at a particular time, they were not given a chance to come out, to actually share their ideas. But at this particular point, we're so glad that a lot of youth are coming out at this point to run for presidency, which is a very wonderful thing, because at this position, we can see them bringing new ideas to the table, showing this older politicians that they have a new idea of running Nigeria. Considering that Nigeria is a country that has more than half of the population are youths in Nigeria, they should be ruled by people of their same age or same class, if I should put it that way. So at this point, youths, it's the time for the youth to actually come out and show what they have, the ideas. We're living in a modern world, in a technological world. And right now, the world is more inclined to technology, and right now the youths are the one exactly in the forefront.
Mr. Kwansim, I'm going to come back to you with two questions. Number one, Politically in Nigeria, I don't believe there was a time the youth were discriminated against not to contest. The law permit them over the years. No, I'm gonna allow you to give me a follow up from why the youth had never been involved before now. Then how do you call rigging when even on the days of the election it is the youth that are collecting money?
Those are two good questions. The first one, you ask
why are they coming? The law has always permitted them.
But we have something we call not too young to run now.
Okay.
That's just been signed.
Not too young to run.
That's just been signed. So they say you cannot give your enemies a weapon to kill you. If we look at how the youth of Nigerians have managed to be where they are today and to be bold enough to say they are confronting the people who have been governing Nigeria for long, we understand that this guy, Nigerian youth have come a long way. Because if you don't build your own life, how do you want to build a nation? We've been always focused on how to get our daily bread. So there are a lot of things that have shifted our mind from even remembering going to this political sphere of our country.
Was they were trying to survive over
exactly.
the years.
That is why the people who are participating more in this whole thing now are the people who are in diaspora, who have at least slept in a place where there is 24 hours electricity, who have seen what they call not just road but road network, who have seen what they call health care system. You understand? People who have seen that the country have to have security for everybody. You understand? So the reason why they are coming out now is not because they've been
sleeping,
they've been
and it's
sleeping.
not too late.
It's not too late. It's just that people have been focused on getting that power.
And I quickly want to take you to I will quickly want to take you to how do you stop them? By a large part of those who collect money to vote are still youth. The same youth. Now it's a very tricky thing. We want power back and we are collecting money. So what do you really want? The money or the power? No. And if the man who collects the money gets to power, we're not going to have a recycling of the same system.
You see, sir.
How do we actually inform the youth, educate them, then discourage them from this money politics? That's actually where I'm going.
Okay. My own opinion is this. I believe that when you are hungry in life, it's very difficult to have a choice. You see everything as good.
The poor man is not principled.
Yeah, the Nigerian government have understood that for a long time, and that is why every government makes sure that the number of poor people in Nigeria actually increases. Before the next 4 years, they must increase. And that is why right now in Nigeria is currently the world poverty capital. The poverty capital of the world. That's what they have successfully built. So when you are talking of a country where almost 80% lives below the poverty level, you see, to accept 10,000 when you know you don't have pot of stew at home is very easy.
Then since the poverty, Mr. Klasim, since the poverty is still there, it has not changed. Then what is the solution? Because the same poor people are the youth and they are still poor. Then how do you now make these poor people who have no principles or choice to participate in the political process?
And not sell their right.
Yes.
Yeah. Let me to my own opinion or to my own knowledge, I think we don't have to focus too much about or disturbing ourselves too much about those poor people who would, in any case, accept the money. What we have to do now is to make sure that we break that market. That market of buying people's votes. And how do we break it? The practice of paying people at the polling unit is treason. It's a criminal offense. It's against democracy. It's against the constitution of Nigeria. I don't believe that in our constitution that it is there that you can give people money on the election day right there in the polling unit.
How do you break it?
How we break it is this. We get our youth to cover every polling unit, live coverage of whatever is happening there. And when we have this coverage, is an evidence to drag these people to court. If a party is caught with their members paying people to make them vote for them on that day, such party, we are going to fight that case. Secondly, if they bring in soldiers and all these our youth, like you said, these same youth are the same people that they would send to come and disorganize, steal ballots. Anywhere that is done during that day, we must fight. Such polling unit vote must not count.
Okay, once you are still on that, I would say effective monitoring to gather evidence and to pursue the matter legally.
Exactly.
You were on a thought whilst we were going.
Can I? Sorry.
I'm coming, sir. I'll come back to you. You were on a thought whilst we were going. Do you want to continue your thought, or should I would quickly add something to it? Now, coming back from where Mr. Wasim was coming from, how do you have informed voters, informed youth? What I mean by that is, when somebody is not informed about politics, he has a tendency to misbehave. How do we get this youth to make them informed voters who can take a right decision?
Thank you. And I think that's where the youth comes in. We have a lot of youth-led parties in Nigeria now. We have AAC, we have YPP, and a couple of other ones. And I think that this we shouldn't be in a rush. I think they need to engage the electorates. It's not about just getting power. Now, if I know that taking 4,000 naira on an election day
We make you suffer.
And I know the consequences, because I've just been paid for 4 years of that politicians or office holder, you know, and that's, I've just got my health care for 4 years, my food, my education, and everything that comes to democracy, just 4,000. I think I will rethink, and I think that should be the responsibility of all these youth-led parties to start engaging,
to educate them properly.
So I think when that is done, when the money comes, this will not solve my problem. I think the Nigerian people now be engaged, will be negotiating with politicians. I think what will take me for the next 4 years is 5 million. I don't know any party that will be willing to pay 5 million for each voter. I think that's to be where we should start from.
Okay.
So the parties themselves need to engage at the grassroots where this problem is coming from.
Okay. Barrister, I would come to you. When you monitor and you gather evidence, then you go to the court. Would you say the justice system in Nigeria is reliable as of today?
As of today, well, the justice system in almost every country is not fully reliable, and Nigeria is not an exception to that. So if proper evidence can be gotten and the right system is followed, it should actually be a case that should be able to be presented in court in Nigeria, because according to the law, like Mr. Kelly already said, it's a crime to actually bribe people to vote, because people should use their free will in voting or casting their votes for a particular candidate, and they shouldn't be bribed towards that. So that is already a crime on its own, and if that can be followed under the right channels, it's actually a case, a proper case.
I will come back to you before I come back to him. In terms of gathering evidence,
Okay, sir.
something surprises me. An average Nigerian takes a lot of selfie. and they put it on Facebook.
Yeah.
Then on Facebook, everybody keeps on shouting about rigging. I say, you were at the polling booth with all your phones. Show us what you're talking about. How do we take advantage of technology
That is exactly
to gather evidence?
That's exactly
Not to take selfies alone.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're saying. There's not going to be, we are not going to even be waiting for people. What we are proposing and what we believe that it should be done is there should be a website ahead of the election where there's going to be live coverage of this election.
Live coverage across the nation.
Yeah, it can be done.
That is logistically big.
I know, because every you remember, every party in any case would have their committees at every election unit. So during that election, why those committees are there, it's a duty of the party that knows that they want a fair and free election to make sure that these things are covered, and they can upload immediately on those websites. Pictures, videos. It's not necessary they cover everything, but during that illegal activities, they cover it, they live stream it there immediately, everybody sees it, and they have the pictures as evidence. Like our barrister have said, this is a case that we can even take beyond Nigeria, because if we don't trust, it is very difficult to trust the Nigeria understand. So it's something we can write to International Crime Court. You understand? We can write to UN. We can write to countries who care about democracy to help us. Look, these people started again.
Let me come to you. There's something I have observed live.
Okay.
On an election day in Nigeria. That was 2003. You have an environment where you have lots of thugs and these area boys in Nigeria.
Yeah.
That even they would intimidate and victimize people.
Yeah.
And Even if they don't give you money, they compel you. They just stand by, just standing. You look at them, you can't vote for another party. And there are some areas in Nigeria that are controlled by a lot of these people. And you can, I will give you, for example, from a reliable source, somebody in the north, there was an area they went to, and they saw these talks of people with a weapon, and they told them, just by looking at these guys, you become victimized and said, I can't write any report, they're going to kill me, so you give it away. How do you stop intimidation, victimization at polling units?
Okay, thank you. To stop intimidation at polling units, I believe our military or the police should be visible. This is the area we need them at most. It's not.
How about if the government in power has influenced them? I am in power and I send the military to polling unit and I give them instruction, work for me. You are the commissioner of a particular state, give them money, work for them. What I'm telling you about Mr. Osomena is actually the police are complicit in this thing.
I'm not done. What I'm saying, because we cannot take law into our own hands.
Exactly.
You understand? That is why I'm saying the police and the military should be present and be visible at every polling unit to stop those intimidations, because those intimidations by thugs are civilians being used by some thugs, political thugs, and those political thugs, when you say it, when you point at any of them, they will deny at any point. So if the police and the military are visible, and they should be able to stop those intimidations at every polling unit.
I'm assuming he grew up in Victoria Island. I'm assuming you grew up in a very rich environment. I'm coming back to you. The intimidation and victimization I'm talking about happen under the eyes of police and soldiers. It's not that they are not there. So that's the area I'm looking at.
So let me just help, please. Let me help our member.
Okay.
You know what? In any case in Nigeria, police has always been there, soldiers have always been there during election, and all these things happen. So that is why we say, you see, there's a particular presidential aspirant, Samuel Showore, who has not been going about with bodyguards or police or soldiers. What has been his mode of security? It's been technology. He has defeated this victimization through the use of technology. He's always covering himself live. You can send these guys in. That's why I said in the beginning that this thing is going to be any slightest illegal activities going on will be quickly covered and uploaded on the live website, so that people can, the moment people know what our agenda is, this it's not about, you can't completely stop this thing, you understand, but if there's evidence against that polling unit, in any case, whoever they send in is not going to work, they can send these people in and steal the ballot box, but we are going to fight it so much that that polling unit vote will be cancelled. We cannot accept such votes.
I'm coming. I'm coming, sir. Barrister want to say something.
Looking into what you said about intimidation, an election should not just be fair and fair, but should also be free from fear. But at the end of the day, we know, considering a country like Nigeria, there's always going to be intimidation.
Exactly.
When it comes to voting. At the end of the day, you need to know as a person that I might be intimidated, but I need to stand my ground. Because at the end of the day, it's how you stand your ground. Not taking that bribe of 4,000 rand, not taking that bribe of a lower amount. It's standing your ground. Because the moment you tell them that, no, I'm not going to take this, I want to vote for my own right, it's going to look like you're going to get intimidated at the end of the day, because you're rejecting the bribes. So at the end of the day, it's all about...
Where did you grow up? Where did you grow up?
It's not talking about money.
It's not about...
No, I have a reason for asking you, because it's like you have not... Who has understood what I'm saying?
No. When it comes to that, that's what I'm saying. With what Comrade Kelly talked about, gathering of evidence, you might be intimidated, but at the end of the day, you have
Our
to stand
evidence will
your
help
ground.
us.
Okay.
You have to
Yeah,
stand your
our
ground.
evidence will help
I'm
us.
coming. Okay, you want to add to it? Well,
Yes.
you must add to it from this angle.
Yes.
I'm talking about intimidation
Yeah.
that can also,
Intimidation is
you
not
can
about
be
the
beaten.
bribery.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm
You can
going
repeat it.
to respond to the barrister. When somebody come with machete, that's how they're going to run away.
Understand?
But what
How do you say?
Comrade Kelly said, when a political party knows that if I sign my hoodlums to this place,
There are people
I
there
lose that polling unit
Yeah.
because that election will be
I'm not
cancelled.
nullified.
I
Exactly.
think
You understand?
that political parties, these youth-led parties,
They must have
should
their
fight for the
ready with
reform
their
of
evidence.
our electoral laws. I don't know if I've not read the clause. If there are clauses that criminalize using of hoodlums and intimidation at polling units. But when you know that you will,
it is
It's definitely
illegal.
a crime.
Let's be
Definitely a crime.
honest. It is
Highly
illegal.
illegal.
But the case, I think I would go with the founder of FDM that says, look for ways to technological tame and reduce this.
Give me your future for a bag of rice. Forget we don't open eyes. Spray the money from the bag of lies. That's them recharge card. Our vote of right. For a bag of rice. Forget we don't open eyes. Okay, spray the money from the bag of lies. That's them recharge card. Our vote of right. It's that time again. Then blind people strategize campaign. Okay, but the people complain. Say, people from the last campaign. You know, fit scam them. Use your brain.
Mr. Kwasim, willing buyer, willing seller.
Okay.
I'll say next time.
Law of demand and supply.
So what we are going to do is to make sure that their money is not available. Because if you take money away from APC and PDP, believe me, they lose.
So
Nobody
you
is
will make sure that the money is not available to them.
to them.
How do you do that?
That is why I said our evidences. Because in any case, if you know, that's why we said it's going to be very risky for our youth to start campaigning against this thing during the election. They must start now. The campaign must start now to say, we are ready, we are going to cover this election. Before your tout can even take our phone is already covered and is already loaded on the live thing. So the money you are bringing there, you already know that it's going to be useless. It's better you start keeping that money you've budgeted to pay the whole Nigeria. Start keeping it for your retirement, because in any case it's going to even make you lose.
Okay.
So that is how I feel that we can
on a
defend
final note for everybody, I'm going to come on a final note for everybody, and I'm going to come from Mr. Ifeda, from the diaspora and the 2019 general elections. What will be the involvement of FDM?
Please, I want to diverge a bit because what is burning our heart is the youth factor in Nigeria 2019 elections. And like you were asking me about Pat was dead on arrival. We need the youth to be united. As it is now, there's division among these people that we're looking up to. They are repeating the old mistake the old people have made, and they've divided Nigerian youth. So our concern from FDM, what we stood for all along and we're still standing for, is the unity of all those brilliant young minds, the like of Showore, Mogalu, Fela Drochoye, and all of them, Togo Fashua, to come together. We think that's one of the major strategies. And that's what we're campaigning for. Now, there's nothing we could do from here. We are raising funds to support these people. But we don't want to raise funds for Showore or for Mogalu separately. We want to raise funds for all these people so that they can engage Nigerian electorates and be able to present the best person. And one of the things we're also looking at is to ensure if you can influence that or have a role to play, to have a youth presidential debate where the best of them will be chosen by Nigerians, so that by so doing we'll have sold that particular person to Nigerians, and it become easy for the youth who will not be persuaded about money. Because if you look at what is going on, the followers, they are divided among these people. So we have a lot of young new.
For the sake of our time, I get you there. Nobody wants unity, and you want candidates who are tested and trusted and chosen by the people. I will come to your final word.
Okay, on which
presidential election, the youth, the money politics.
Okay, thank you. When it comes to the youth presidential aspirants, I am in support of the unity of the youth. Unity is key, and before they should come to choosing any individual as a candidate for the youth, they should all go through a proper democratic primaries in each of their political parties that they represent, that they are campaigning under, and come out with a united front. That is the stand I'm supporting, for a united front in all the young aspirants in Nigeria.
United front. Yeah. Barrister, in terms of justice, legal system, is there any advice you have either for the people in politics or for the youth?
Thank you. Unity, one of the very most important things, and also the fact that people should come out at this point, not just to have their face being shown, but to actually make an impact. Why am I saying this? Nigeria, we have a lot of youth in Nigeria. Nigeria population is more of youth. We have more youth in Nigeria, and if all the youth unite to vote for one particular youth, the youth are going to rule Nigeria, because at the end of the day, Nigeria is more of a youthful country at this point in time.
Mr. Kwasim, sorry, as we go to the final note, I'm getting confused on one guy, and I'll tell you.
Okay.
We are talking as if there is an agreement amongst Nigerian youth to come together. I mean, when I look at the landscape, I see youth who are supporting PDP, youth who are supporting APC. So in that area, I want us to get that clearly, because it's almost as if the youth have decided that youth in APC, youth in PDP, another political party. Which youth are we referring to here?
Okay. Thank you very much, our
moderator.
You see, one thing I see in this whole thing is it is not so difficult to have all the youth, change their mind for a better Nigeria. But you know what? The division among our youth party already, it's in any case going to make some people say, I would rather stay with this old man than to come under this youth. Yes. The first mistake I always tell people that these people have made is to go and register different parties. Now tell me, you, we all belong to different parties, and people are speaking of coming together. How? Am I going to dissolve my party for you? Even if we come together and we do a presidential debate and one person emerges, in any case, I will go back to my party and still campaign as still run for the presidential election. So what we are proposing to them is, they must, if they are truly for Nigeria, because right now what I'm seeing, I don't know about.
You are not sure they are for Nigeria.
I don't think any one of them is for Nigeria. I'll be biased by saying, if I say somebody is for Nigeria, none of them is actually showing that this is for Nigeria. So if they want to be for Nigeria, we have APC in Nigeria who has been there for long. We have PDP who already hold their ground. What Nigeria need to move forward now is a third party. Just one.
A third party.
That party.
If there's a third force. Maybe people think you're talking about this thing. There's a third. Are you talking about that third force?
No, I'm not talking about that.
I'm
talking about a party now that the youth of Nigeria, if they are serious,
a new political party.
A new political party. They can either do this. They already have registered parties. They can either let we Nigerian people help them choose which of these parties we want to run under. That's one. Secondly, all of them must merge under one party. Then when they merge under one party and then do a presidential debate and let Nigerian people choose one person, believe me, sir, we already have people now who are leaving PDP, APC to join some of our youth parties, because they are there not because they want to contribute to the backwardness of Nigeria. They are there because they don't have choice. But the moment they see that, okay, youth are coming up, they are leaving those parties to come to youth. You understand? So if the youth unite, they come under one umbrella, they do a presidential debate, one person emerge, believe me, Nigerians, in fact, I believe it's a one battle.
Okay, I think on this note we would end it, but if I were to sum it up, unity, you want aspirants that are tested so that the aspirant can be sold to the people. They can believe in him through his vision and agenda. Thank you very much, everybody, for this robust interview.
Thank you,
Mr. Kwasim Bankole, thank you. Barrister, thank you very much. Ozemena, thank you very much. Mr. Federa, thank you very much. On this note, we will put a stop to it today. FDM Roundtable, until we join you another time. Stay blessed.